Thinking about buying a franchise? Don't go it alone. Just like a buyer's agent in real estate, you deserve someone who's on your side every step of the way. That's where Todd Abraham, the franchise guy, comes in. Todd's consulting services are completely free to anyone looking to buy a franchise. He'll represent your interest, make sure all your questions are answered, and walk you through the entire buying process. With Todd in your corner, you'll have the best chance for success from your first call to the day you hold the keys to your new business. So before you buy a franchise, talk to someone who knows the industry inside and out and works for you. Call Todd Abraham, the franchise guy, today at 423-381-0925 for a free, no-pressure consultation. That's 423-381-0925. Your future in franchising starts here. Good afternoon. This is Thursday, July the 25th, and welcome to the Franchise Marketing Systems Client Spotlight Podcast. My name is Todd Abraham. You're tuning in on franchiseradio.net, everything franchising, and today we are excited to have with us Chef Pam from Chef Pam's Kitchen and Brian. And I love cooking, so if you love cooking, you're going to love this podcast. We'll just call it a tasty treat for our ears today. So Pam and Brian, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Todd.
Thank you, Todd. We're excited to be here.
Yes, indeed. And so we tried to do this podcast earlier this week, and they were at their beautiful kitchen there in Wisconsin, and for some reason we just couldn't get the reception that we wanted for the Wi-Fi, so they decided to do this from home today. So, Pam, tell us all about how you kind of got into the cooking business and what inspired you to start Chef Pam's Kitchen.
Well, first of all, my mom was a beautiful cook, loved to cook for the family, and did everything from scratch. And I grew up enjoying wonderful dinners around the table and special memories with our family. And then I was stationed in Naples, Italy. I am a retired Navy nurse. And while I was there for the duty station, there was a woman who had married an Italian and said, she was American, and she said, I married an Italian and I never went home. So she offered cooking classes for the military, and she'd charge one price, and I think at that time it was like $13 a person. And she'd cook two things with us, and she'd put a bottle of water, a bottle of wine on the table, and it was such a fun evening, and I remembered that. And so after I retired from the Navy, I had the GI Bill for Wisconsin for 4 years of free education at any UW school. And I decided to pursue culinary. I already had the bachelor's degree in nursing. I'd gone for my master's a couple times in healthcare and didn't finish it. Once because I met my husband, and second time because I got deployed for 13 months to Germany. So coming back, I enrolled in an associate degree program after my deployment in Germany. And I went to a local community college and got a degree in culinary management. And from there, I just remembered that woman teaching in Italy and how fun those evenings were. And so I did do a little bit of catering. I worked in a local restaurant. And then I decided to look for a place and open up Chef Pam's Kitchen. So it's a cooking school where you cook with us. And it's just fun to see people excited to cook. We have kids classes from 8 to 12, younger kids 2 to 5 even, teens 13 to 17, and then adults, as well as we do private events for where we do all the cooking catered in-house. And we've done anything from an 18th to all the way up to an 80th birthday party celebration.
That's awesome. So, wow. Well, I think you may be the most educated chef that I probably have personally ever met. So now, where's your home location for Chef Pam's Kitchen right now? And tell us about the size of your facility and like how many folks can you host at one point?
Well, we opened up 5 years ago. and we're located in Waukesha, Wisconsin, right on Main Street. We started in a 950 square foot space, one commercial kitchen, and we provided classes for 12 to 14 people at a time where it was chef assist, where you cook with us. And then after 2.5 years, we expanded 2 doors down, and now we are in 5,000 square feet of space. And we have 4 commercial kitchens, and we offer classes for 26 to 32 people for the chef assist. And then we also have team building for companies, or even if it's a family that wants to do it, where we give you secret ingredients, and you have 75 minutes to develop your menu and cook a 3-course meal. And then we judge each team, and we pick a winner, and those go up to 40 people.
That is awesome. So in the agreement that they sign when they do the company team building, do they have to agree not to throw the chef's knives at each other?
We do have to go over knife safety. That's probably the beginning of the class, because
That's awesome.
it is utter chaos, controlled chaos by the chefs, but they have the use of 2 commercial kitchens, and it's just a blast to see how fun it is for them to be cooking in a commercial kitchen with commercial stoves and all the equipment that comes with it.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, for somebody like me who just absolutely loves to cook, that would be dreamy for me. My only regret is that you guys are so far away. So I'm going to have to work hard to get somebody down here in Southeast Tennessee to buy a franchise with you guys so I can get in on the action. But so now, do y'all video record these events so that folks can have that for their memoirs, what have you?
No, as of now, we don't videotape. We are looking at, I actually have a call this afternoon with a company that wants us to offer virtual teaching classes. It would be more of a demo style for healthy lifestyle eating for their company, for their employees. So that is something that we're looking at for the future, is offering video.
That would be awesome. Yeah, I think people would love that if they could, if anybody that comes in there to do it, that they could get a recorded copy of that to send to anyone, especially for a company, that's doing like a team building exercise. That'd be a fun thing to add to, reasons why you want to go to work there, when they're doing interviews or what have you. So tell us about the franchise opportunity. What does a franchisee need to come on board with you as far as the size of their location? Let's talk about that part.
Yeah, so on the franchise side of things, there's a couple of different options that we offer. So we're kind of 3 components. So the cooking school that Pam just spoke to is kind of the primary business under the 5,000 square feet. What's really cool is we have this exploding secondary business where artisans rent our commercial kitchens. So they take advantage of the different kitchens that we have, and they'll rent that space from us. We currently have 35 artisans that come in 24/7 and use those kitchen spaces. So a very profitable revenue stream as the entire model exists. So that's one component. And then we allow those artisans to sell their products in a marketplace. So the marketplace is at the front of the cooking school, where when everybody checks out at the end of the night after they've had their drinks and bought whatever they wanted, they would actually check out through the marketplace, and typically we'll pick up an item or 2, whether from the local artisans or items that Pam and I have selected or pre-made with our own chefs of food products that we sell. So there's kind of 3 different components in the business, and the offering is you can open up just the cooking portion, you can open up the artisan rental that like we have, or you can even open up the marketplace. It all depends what type of square footage you're looking at. But, about 1,200 to 1,500 square feet would be the min. And then, like we said, we have 5,000 square feet that we work with today.
Mm-hmm.
That's fantastic. Well, I mean, that really is. And I could think for somebody who, like you said, is an artisan, a cook, and they have that specialty, what have you, and they're looking for a place where they don't have to go spend all the money to rent a kitchen and all those sorts of things. This is the perfect venue for them to come in and be able to, do their magic, for lack of a better word, and then, without leaving with all the overhead over their shoulders. So that's really awesome.
Yeah, exactly,
really
Todd.
cool.
And it gives them a chance to kind of try out a brick and mortar experience for their business without having to invest in a lease and all those other expenses that come with that. And many of the grocery stores that they make products for, you're required to produce that in a commercial kitchen, right? So we satisfy that need. But the other thing that we give them is kind of the business acumen, right? So my background's customer experience, pricing, how to price your products, what's the right price, what's the right margin. A lot of these guys have a passion for the product that they make, but don't necessarily understand the business side to bring that to market to get that going.
So what's nice is Brian and I are a good combination because I help them with the chef side and culinary questions, and then he'll help them with the business side.
That's awesome. So, I honestly, I'm a visionary it's a God-given gift, I guess. But the thing I can see happening potentially here is franchises being born out of your franchise model, because somebody comes in, like you said, and maybe they don't have the money to go and start their own franchise. And they're really, they have a real good niche in the culinary side of things. And then they come in and you guys help them, develop that. And I think that really is a potential that could happen with your franchise. So this is very exciting. I don't know of anything else out there like this. I know that there's franchises where folks have like candle bars, and then there's franchises where folks have like artist bars, for lack of a better word, where folks can come in and learn how to paint and then what have you, like a social event. But this is awesome because food is kind of the glue that holds everybody together, especially families. So you guys really do have an awesome concept here. So talk about the pricing to get involved in the franchise. What's the turnaround time once they become a franchisee to where they can actually begin to generate revenue? And then what kind of training do you guys provide?
Yeah. So on the pricing side, the typical entry fee will be about $225,000 to $700,000, depending again on the size of the facility you want to open up, and you're looking at about 90 to 120 days to open up a facility. Again, it depends how far along the space you're looking at has. If it already has a kitchen as part of it, great. You can even do it even faster. If it doesn't, that's going to take a little bit more time to get done.
And then what sort of pricing would somebody expect to charge for like one of those cooking classes or one of those events? Can you give us a ballpark on that?
We start our kids at $42 a child. The teens are $45, and then our adult classes are anywhere from $69 to $89 a person. We also offer a supper club every other month where this August it's every August is seafood extravaganza. We have 80 people coming in our space, and that one's $89 a person. And then we have a beer and wine license, which has done well for us. We offer a variety of wines, beers, flavored seltzers you can offer under the beer and wine license, and mimosa of the evening. So that part of the pricing, we keep the drinks fairly priced, and I think we make a good amount of money that way as well.
Yeah. As far as the skill set, Todd, you mentioned, I think the skill set we're looking for is somebody that loves food, right? Obviously, but somebody that's got, a business understanding, right? Because there's some moving parts here, and you want to make sure you have a good handle on the business. But the training that Pam and I and we deliver to all of our associates and all those folks that we have the privilege to work with, they get a deep understanding of the business itself. So somebody that has a passion for food, loves customer experiences, hands over heels on delivering a customer experience. We have over 350 Google reviews, and we're at a 4.9. It's because we take the experience of every guest that walks in incredibly seriously, even including the kids. We want to make sure that it's the most amazing hour and a half that they've spent that day, that week, that month at a place, and we're fanatics for delivering that.
That's very cool. I actually learned how to boil eggs in the way I still do now. I'm 56 in home economics, and I was in the fourth grade. And my teacher simply said, you put the eggs in some water on the stove, you bring it to a boil, you put a lid on there that fits the pot, turn it off in 15 minutes. They'll be perfect. And I've been using that ever since. So that's very cool that you guys, have kids at that age range. I would never even have thought that that was possible. So that is truly awesome. So let's talk about like the rental space. When these artisans come to rent space from you, what sort of a rates would a franchisee expect to charge for something like that?
I would say we currently are charging $20 an hour, but we have a minimum of 10 hours a month. I instituted that because I feel like if you're not in the kitchen for at least 10 hours a month, your business isn't going to go anywhere. And
That's right.
we want people to be successful. So $20 an hour, but I think depending on the market of where you're located with the franchise, it could be anywhere from 20 to 35 an hour.
That's right.
And there's refrigeration space that they rent. So we have coolers, we have freezers. So that's all additional revenue that those that need it can rent, and we have it available to them. And it's a large part of our artisan revenue model is the rental of the rental that we allow them to have, because they don't want to be carting this product back home, so they'll rent shelves in the freezer, the coolers, and whatnot. So
and from a franchisee standpoint, what's great about that is that all these artisans that begin to come in and rent that space is more publicity for them, because those artisans are going to be promoting their business through their social media networks and their own websites if they have them. So, I mean, for a franchisee, I think that's, and for y'all as well, I think that is really, really cool.
Yeah.
And the space is so flexible, Todd, right? So we do a winter farmers market, right? For several thousand people will come in on a Saturday and they'll shop our artisans' vendor booths. And so we have vendors that pay us to have a booth in our winter farmers market, but it's also bringing brand new customers that have never been into our kitchen before into our kitchen to shop the farmers market. And, oh, by the way, what do you guys do? And so it's been a really great revenue driver. We do music events, right? So we'll have guest artists that come in and we'll provide dinner and some music. So it's just a very purposeful space that we can use for all different kinds of functions that we can tie in with food and fellowship.
Well, yeah, and I don't know if y'all have had this happen before, but I could see family reunions taking place in y'all's location. That would be a lot of fun for a big family to get together for a reunion, cook together, enjoy each other's company. That would be awesome.
We have had families, and we've also had even like a celebration of life service, bridal showers, bachelorette parties. So what's interesting is I think our training piece of the franchise is discussing all that and helping franchisees think of other ways that they could use their space. So, and
that's the beauty of it. The flexibility of it is really, really good. So once a franchisee comes on board, they've gotten started, or they're ready to open their doors, I expect that either one or both of y'all will be there with them for a certain amount of time to help them get started. Is that right?
Yes, we as well as we'll have them come to our flagship space and do some training there hands-on, because a lot of this we feel is a hands-on process that you have to be participating in.
That's great. Well, this is a really exciting concept. I don't think there's anything even close to it that's out there in a franchise model. So what is your vision for the company in 5 years from now? What would you like to see Chef Pam's Kitchen become?
Well, we'd like to obviously grow the franchise piece of this. Everywhere we go, people that either experienced it or tell their relatives that haven't experienced it, like, oh my gosh, similar to you, Todd, I wish I had one of these by me, right? So we're not going to grow fast just to grow fast. We're going to grow right. We want to make sure we're partnering with the right franchisees. It makes sense for them. It makes sense for us. It's the right location. We're in a position to help support them. We want to see everybody succeed, right? So we are very confident that with the right franchisee, you can have a really nice business as it's been for Pam and I.
So now when a franchisee comes on board, a question that just hit me is, as far as the actual, let's say they get the space, are they best off renting an existing restaurant that already has cooking equipment in it? If they don't, do you guys have relationships set up to help them to obtain the equipment that they're going to need in order to have their franchise?
Yeah, we do. So it depends what the restaurant looks like, right? So if it's a small kitchen with a large footprint in the front, may work, may not work. I think that's where Pam and I can help out, looking at it, looking at the possibilities and potential of the space itself. But yeah, it really depends on the individual location if it would work well or not.
And you know, our first space, it came with a hood that we realized was not functional. And so we had to replace the hood, but we partnered with the owner of the building and he paid half the price of the hood. So those are kinds of things, as well as the plumbing, electricity, what you need in a facility to be able to be up and running with all the inspectors. That's lessons learned that we went through, some of it the hard way, that we're hoping we can help these franchisees get through, so they don't encounter as many obstacles, and have more smooth sailing with opening their place. But minimal amount of money can start it. You know, you don't have to buy brand new. Kitchen equipment comes used. We've got a 10-burner stove that we purchased 5 years ago used, and it's still running great, and just cleaned it up. And so there's so many opportunities to do this in a kind of a cost-effective.
Well, the sad part is because of the economy and inflation, everything, and COVID, a lot of restaurants either are going out of business or went out of business. I'm a glass half full kind of person. The upside to that is, like you just said, there's lots and lots of really quality restaurant equipment that's out there for sale that's not new, but is still in perfect working order. So that's really good. So if you're listening to this podcast, obviously, you can't see us talking, but Brian and Pam have their dog with them, there at their home. So tell us the dog's name.
Ginger.
Ginger. And what kind of dog is she?
She's a 8-pound toy poodle that was our daughter's dog. And somehow we adopted her when she went off and was working full time.
That's cool. So let me just interject, Pam, thank you for your service in the military. I truly appreciate that. So in closing, tell us about your experience with franchise marketing systems. How has that been, and why would you recommend them to other businesses who are looking to become a franchise?
Yeah, they were, they kind of, when Pam and I started this process, really kind of took interest in our concept, and it is a concept that's unique. It didn't exist, right? So I think once they had a better understanding of what it is we do, the incredible customer passion that follows us, they've kind of led this step-by-step process to help get us to this point we are. They're supporting us with marketing, with our conferences now. They're supporting us with podcasts such as this one. So they've been a tremendous resource for Pam and I and the business as we look to offer this franchise to others, to experience the fun and passion that we have for the business.
Yeah, I am also a franchisor with FMS, and that has been my experience with them as well, is that, when I started doing the research on franchising my business, I mean, I knew nothing like one of the other persons I interviewed. I didn't know what I didn't know. And so once the Lord blessed me to be connected with FMS, all the anxiety went away because they did everything, and the wealth of knowledge that FMS brings to the franchising world is well over 100 years experience, based on everything that I've learned about the company. And they do literally everything for you. So, Pam, Chef Pam's Kitchen, that's the website, chefpamskitchen.com. It's got a really nice flow to it. And on the website, there is a link for the franchise information, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
That's awesome. Well, folks, I'm going to tell you what, I have thoroughly enjoyed this. And like I said, I really hope and pray that somebody at least within 2 hours driving distance of me buys a franchise with you guys so I can come and experience the joy of, cooking in a commercial kitchen with all those ingredients, everything available, because with inflation, I mean, it's if you go out and stock your kitchen with all the spices that you'd love to cook with, it's going to cost you a pretty penny. So it's nice to have a place like yours to go where you can have those available and use only what you need,
Yeah, exactly.
Well, guys, thank you so much. We're talking with Chef Pam and Brian from ChefPam'sKitchen.com, an amazing franchise where when you buy a franchise with them, you will be able to host cooking parties where folks can learn how to cook in a fun environment, and so many other revenue streams there with, like they said, artisans being able to rent the space to use your kitchen to do their beautiful creations, and so many different types of events that you can host through your franchise. But this is exciting. Guys, thank you so much. You're listening to the Franchise Marketing Systems Client Spotlight podcast on Franchise Radio. My name is Todd Abraham, and if you are a business owner who is looking to create a franchise out of your business, by all means, you are welcome to contact me 24/7. I'm just kidding. Monday through Saturday, 9 to 6 Eastern Standard Time at 423-381-0925 Eastern Standard Time. And Pam and Brian, any closing comments you'd like to leave with the audience?
I just think this is a great opportunity for someone who loves to cook, loves to entertain, and we hope that you come and talk to us and get to know us and even come and see our place if you're interested. Thank you,
Very
Todd.
good. Thank you very much. You guys have a great day, and thank you for everyone that's listening to this podcast, and we'll talk soon.